Warning, the following video has not been approved by the Comic Code Authority and is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The.Comic.Assassin. It's Friday. I hope all of y'all had a great week, and I wish all of y'all the best of weekends. Today's the day where I'll let you guys know what books I picked up, and we're also going to be doing a comic book review on two different books. It's going to be a little bit different, not so much in depth for reasons I'll explain later. But let's just go ahead and jump into it. What books did I pick up? I'll start with my dollar books. I love hitting the dollar bins in my LCS. And here's number one, Lady Death. Lingerie number one. Now this is a wraparound cover. And I probably should have taken it out so you can actually see it in all its glory. But I think it's a pretty awesome Lady Death. I don't really do a lot of Lady Death books, but I think this one's pretty cool. For $1, you can't beat it. I got Avengers number 100. This is the 64-page anniversary. That red foil cover. I picked that up for $1. Let's see. Another dollar book. Moon Knight number 2. Alright, I picked up number 1 not too long ago. I saw number 2 in the dollar box and I had to pick it up. Now some ones I picked up for cover price and more. Vigilante Southland number 1. I picked this up for $4. And I picked this up based on the hype that this is what Idris Elba's character is going to be based on in the new Suicide Squad movie. As well as the first appearance of Mongol. So this is DC Showcase 95, number 8. I got that for $3. So cover price, basically. And, you know, once again, this is, when I mention books about spec stuff, to me, it's the thrill of the hunt. If you can go out there and you can get it for cover price or cheaper, that's what I like. You know, that's what I enjoy. I love going and hunting for books. I've never read any Showcase 95 stuff, but knowing it's the first appearance I might hit in the movies, I had to go try to pick one up. And I picked one up for $3. But my big pickup of the week was this guy right here. Amazing Spiderman 361. And I can go on and on about the back and forth I've had with this book. It was listed at an 8.5. It is a newsstand. Honestly, I think it's higher than an 8.5. I think they were just being moderate because it was my LCS. I got it for less than $70. So it's the most money I've spent on a book in a minute. But this is one book that I've seen on the wall, and I tell myself I can find it cheaper online, and I never can. And so finally, I pulled the trigger. I finally got my Amazing Spider-Man 361. So I am super stoked about that. So my new books that I got this week, starting off with Marvel, I got Amazing Spider-Man 31. Got the Absolute Carnage tie-in. Powers of X, issue 6 of 6. Guys, let me know what you guys think about how this series ended. I want to know your feedback. Going on to DC, this all day long. Watchmen number 1, dollar comic. Like I said, I have the whole trade. I love that. I love that series. Some Image stuff. We have Redneck number 24. This is the end of the story arc, but maybe not the story itself. Some Donny Cates goodness. Reaver number 4. I'm loving this series. Haven't read it yet, but I've been loving this series. And of course, Spawn 301. And I had to go with this one. I had to go with the Amazing Spider-Man 301 homage cover. Yeah. And I will say, I'm super pleased with like the quality of the covers they did with this. Like they're super thick. They hold up well. The only problem with covers that are this thick and the cardstock stuff is that if you get little nicks, like there's one in the corner, like that's hard to like do anything about. But yeah, I am super excited about reading this one. And so the two books I'm going to be reviewing for you today, and usually I do indie books. Today, not so much. In fact, the first one I'm going to be reviewing, and just to give a little bit of a talk, is Amazing Fantasy 15, the Facsimile. And there's the one reason I want to bring this up is these facsimile covers they're awesome. Alright, they are super awesome. And some of you who might not be all into Spidey might not realize what's going on with Amazing Fantasy 15, which is the first appearance of Peter Parker, Spider-Man, etc. But you know, you see this comic and you think that all this comic is Spider-Man. But no, it's not. If you actually look through it, there's one page. That's the main page. This is where Spidey actually gets bit by the spider for the first time. The other page where he's actually doing the first fight scene with him doing the whole wrestling gig. You know, and nothing like what you saw in the movies, anything like that. He does build himself a suit, and then there's part 2. And that's pretty much it. There's like only just a few pages. And after that, there's like 2 or 3 other stories in here. There's the Bell Ringer is another story. Man in the Mummy Case is another story. There are Martians Among Us. So I'm just pointing this out because there's more stories in this book than just Spider-Man. Of course, Spider-Man is what gets this book all the attention, and rightfully so. But what's kind of cool about the facsimiles, and if you haven't read Amazing Fantasy 15, is, you know, it talks about the trials and tribulations of being a high schooler. You know, you got Peter Parker getting picked on. You know, he gets bitten by the spider. And the way that he's picked on, and the way that he's talking, like, you know, one day I'll show them. Spider-Man could have been a villain. Like, the way that he was super smart, like, everybody loved him to death, at least his you know, his aunt and his uncle and all his professors and everything like that. But the way that he was treated, like, it could have so gone a different direction. Which, in nowadays, you would have thought that this would have been how it would have gone. He would have gone the villain route. But it's super cool to see the original. No, I shouldn't say the original. The reprint of all this stuff. But man, I love the ads. The ads are what make the facsimile stuff better. I mean, like starting off right off the bat, an amazing invention, magic art reproducer. Draw your first line today, and it's like a little shindig that helps you draw. I mean, that's the ads are what makes this. I've actually read this. I have the milestone edition, so I've read this book before. But you know, training kids how to be air conditioner repair people. You know, that's the kind of ads that we used to have. And this one I found kind of funny. It's a workout ad, but the way they do the quotation here, you can't tell if it's the dude or the girls saying boys, men. You know, so you want to think it's probably the girl saying it, But I don't know. Maybe that dude swings the other way. But I mean, just look at this. My secret new Dynaflex method can build you a magnificent new He-Man muscle body in just 10 minutes a day. But I mean, other stuff they said, are you ashamed of your body? Strong man sex appeals attracts girls. You know, just the way they would go full out like masculinity with some of these ads. It was kind of ridiculous. This one, save hundreds of dollars the new magic way. You know, it's a little chest you can put your coin in. You push the thing in and the coin disappears. Knowing damn well that little thing is not going to hold hundreds of dollars of change. You know? But yeah, I just want to point that out about this book. You know, and stamps. Like, they have a whole bunch of stamp stuff. Because, you know, stamp collecting was a big thing back then. And I'm sure it is still now for those who were in that kind of market. But, you know, just the kind of cool stuff that these facsimiles bring to the table, I really, really dig it. And there's more stamp stuff. You know, so stamps were in the thing. They were the jam back then. And of course, more workout stuff. You know? So yeah, I mean, I love these facsimile covers because if you've read any comic, especially growing up as a kid, the ads added a lot to it. You know, I was a product of the 80s. You know, I started reading comics in the late 80s, into the early 90s and all that. And just looking at the ads, it brings a whole nother dynamic to it. It brings something back. And that's what I love about these facsimile covers. But yeah, Amazing Fantasy 15. Probably not one that a lot of us are going to have the original of in our collection. Great way to get it for the read. And also to enjoy it in its original form. But the next one I'm going to go over, and once again, unusual because I'm not going to go too far in depth, is The Joker, Year of the Villain #1. Now this is brought to you by John Carpenter. I love me some John Carpenter work, and basically it starts off with all mayhem going off. They're breaking out of Arkham Asylum. You got Joker, and he's tagging somebody along with him. And this person, turns out his name is, he calls himself the Six of Hearts. And basically the whole story is not told by the Joker. It's really told by the guy, the Six of the Hearts. Which was kind of unique, considering it's a Joker book. And I kind of actually really enjoyed how they did this book. Basically they break out. This guy's pretty much saying that, like, he felt like Joker was the one that was always going to stick with him. And so he always stuck with him. And so Joker, being newly escaped, he's causing mayhem. He's dumping chemicals in the waterways. He's fighting this person and that person. And I will say the one thing I found confusing is, like, from here, the artwork seemed similar from the first 2-3 pages. Then all of a sudden, the artwork got like super detailed, which I thought was pretty cool. Condiment Man comes in. He's busting up a joint, which the Six of Hearts is in there trying to make a purchase. The Joker goes in there and he's like, "You've given me my purpose." They take out the Condiment Man and he's like, "Now we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna be vigilantes." And there he goes. He's buying the Batman suit. Little Halloween costume Batman suit. And from then on out, it's basically a tale of Joker dressed up as Batman with the other guy dressed up as Robin. And they're going on their tail. They're trying to be crime fighters, even though it's the Joker. So you can't expect too much here. But the whole story is a tale of, like, mental illness, and where the guy keeps talking in his head like all his past, and how he knows that at first it felt right, but then it started to feel wrong. right? And basically, Enchantress comes in there, and he's like, automatically, he's like, Enchantress is hot. Like, I think we should team up with her. And the Joker's like, you know what we should do? Actually, Enchantress bashes him down, and then Joker says, you know what we should do? We should get rid of Enchantress. So he goes in there, and he's making a big scene. He goes on TV, and pretty much tells everybody how, Enchantress and the Suicide Squad, like, they're a bunch of, people that need to be taken out. So Joker's taking sides to appease the guy who's been tagging along with him. They get shut down. Let's see. But as it goes on, it gets worse and worse. The guy starts realizing that I'm insane, but the Joker, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's not insane, he is sane. Is he evil? Yes. But he is not insane. And that's kind of how this story goes. And in fact, like, he finally realizes it and he makes a run for it. Let's see here. He makes a run for it. He jumps down and he's trying to get away from the Joker because he knows that he needs to get away from him. He knows that Joker's bad news. Like, he's messed up in the head to begin with. And he's going to go see his mom. Now, he had some dialogue with his parents throughout the story that happened in the past. And sure enough, he goes to his mom's house and he's like saying, what should I say? Should I say this? Should I say that? And lo and behold, you have old Joker there with Mom while he's all dressed up in the Batman suit. And they get into a fight. And basically, he goes after the Joker, and the Joker's like, thank you, this is exactly what I needed. Pretty much, he beats the dude up. Joker beats the Six of Hearts up. And he's going about his way. He's like, I need to go to the hospital. And she's like, yeah, we'll get you to the hospital. The mother's forgiving. She's apologizing for what she did him in the past. But yeah, this was a very, very good read. The only thing that I didn't like is, why is this a year of the villain? Because really there was like one reference made to like the City of Bane thing. Only one. And other than that, this was a complete standalone Joker book. I like the way that John Carpenter wrote this story. So yeah, it's definitely one that was worth the read. I'm not doing the whole year of villains things, to be honest with you, but this was a good book to pick up. So yeah, I recommend that to anybody who's a DC fan, a Joker fan, etc. So that is that, y'all. So let me know what you guys thought about my pickups. What you thought about the review. Did you pick up any of these books up? Did you like them? Did you dislike them? I want to hear your guys' thoughts. And once again, I want to thank everybody who has come on and watched this show, who have subscribed, liked, disliked. Leave comments. Please leave comments, y'all. I mean, if you like it, let me know what you liked about it. If you didn't like it, let me know what you didn't like about it. That's what we're here for. So with that being said, this is Drewski, the Comic Assassin. I'm wishing all of you a merry, merry, happy October weekend. Loving this weather. And with that being said, I'll see y'all next time. And until then, happy hunting.